This is race week, baby!
It created a state.
Like Red Bull seems to be operating on zero brain cells, right?
It suddenly went from, oh, he's so arrogant, oh, he's such a dick, to, oh, now we feel bad.
Just because I am a reserve driver doesn't mean I can't serve.
Yuki has suddenly been given so much air under his ass, he feels like he's 6'5".
Welcome back!
Welcome back. Welcome to episode 6. Oh my
Yes.
god.
I don't know about you, but I am glad to be back on this couch doing normal stuff. Not dying while making Legos.
Yeah, our chaotic Lego week has come to an end, unfortunately.
Never been happier to report that this is race week, baby!
And we've got a triple header, so that means 3 weeks of back-to-back fun is what's gonna happen now.
Japan, Bahrain, Saudi.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be a good
It's
good
gonna
one.
be insane fun.
Japan's always been like a fun one to see because it's like, you know, it's cherry blossom season.
Yeah.
People are feeling the love. And we've seen a few teams coming out with new liveries.
Ooh, yes. You want to talk about, since you were talking about cherry blossoms right now, let's start with Haas, shall we?
Yes, Haas has a very, very pretty new livery for Japan with little cherry blossoms, and I think it really suits the team environment right now with little cute Ollie Behrman and their the team principal. He's also like this little cute man. Ocon is not really fitting in to this cute image of the team, but we can ignore him. Okay.
Also, I mean, he's the speaking of the team principal, he's the only Asian team principal on the
Yes.
grid.
That's
So he's very widely celebrated out there too. Like there are images of him like pre-race right now while they're all there, and it's mad too. He has like a fan following.
wow. I mean, I'm sure he is Japanese,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yes, there is a driver on the grid
Mhm.
from Japan who we will get into soon.
Mhm.
But yeah, having a chief principal too is a big thing,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's going to be a few Haas fans out there in Japan.
Quite a few Haas fans, actually, I would say.
Yeah, so their car is a good tribute, I feel, to
Yeah,
the race.
definitely.
It's a very pretty looking car.
Pretty looking, I would still give to the next team we're about to talk about.
Are we talking about Red Bull?
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
iconic white is just.
With the Red Bull, like it looks really good.
See, this is what I was hoping HP would do with Ferrari. Like with the red logo, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, but the Red Bull logo is red.
Red, I know.
So it's, it works in their favor. We've cracked a few jokes already about Yuki being back in a white car.
Yeah, I mean, okay, what are they thinking? Like, is this one of those times that they're like, listen, there's too much change happening. Let's keep them in comfortable environments and like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? Like, according to you, what do you think?
I don't think they gave it much thought. Like Red Bull seems to be operating on zero brain cells, right? So I don't think they were thinking about any of that. But the car, if we take away the fact that poor Yuki is back in white and back driving a white car, the car looks good.
The car does look good. Although, I mean, this could potentially be the last time we see a white livery for Red Bull.
Really?
So
I know why. Okay, continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So of course, the departing of Honda, which is the reason they build up the Japanese races usually, is going to be departing next season and moving on to Aston Martin. And Red Bull is then going to be partnering up with Ford, which is going to be a whole new game altogether, since they're going to finally start producing their own power units. And that's going to be something very, very pivotal to see whether they can get that part right or not. Because it's not every time that they get it right. Like that's definitely something.
I feel 2026 is going to be... It's going to change everything. So many new partnerships happening. that it's gonna be a year to watch out for, and teams that have not stood a chance yet
Mhm.
could finally find their fit.
I
footing.
agree. I agree. Yeah.
It will be something to watch for. And Stake, who is becoming Audi next year and will probably not be a tractor on the racetrack anymore. There's an image floating around of their new livery.
I don't know whether it's. I honestly do feel like it's an April Fool's joke, but I don't know whether it's real or not.
Yeah, because it came out today. April Fool was yesterday. We're on April 2nd right now as we record.
Yeah, yeah.
So why is there a photo of a really weird red stake floating around?
I mean, Stake created a stake. This is just like, what is going on?
Stake did create a stake. That is true. That is true.
They traumatized me. When I finally saw the first image, and I thought, ooh, really cool red color. Why have they switched colors? And then I went ahead and saw what the red color really was.
Yeah, I think it's something like the print of it, which is giving meat.
It looks like a Wagyu steak.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, a Wagyu steak is this prime cut Japanese steak piece, which is just, it's supposed to be super delicious. But that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it really does. Which is also a good tribute to Japan.
No, it's not.
What? It's one of the best places to eat steak, I guess.
Just because your cows are well fed does not mean you tribute that. Next thing you know, there'll be brown cars if there's ever a Swiss race. It's just like, no, not happening, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't know if that's true or not, but I guess we'll find out.
I mean, okay, there is that a few images early of the pit lanes and the tracks and things like that. And I did manage to catch a glimpse of a green and black wing outside Sauber's pit stop. So could just be false. Let's find out though.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting weekend to find out.
Yes, we're very excited. I did read somewhere there's 50% chance of rain.
Yeah.
I cannot anymore, guys.
Yeah, Japan has been known to have terrible weather.
3 races, like the first 3 races, and 2 of them being rainy races. Come on.
That's
our poor rookies.
So cool.
Our poor rookies. They had no chance.
Poor rookies, it's really only affected one.
Come on. The first race, everyone crashed except DNF'd, except our little Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah, but so did experienced drivers.
Fair, but the rookies, like, it's very tough for them. When
I agree with the fact that it's much harder for them to find their footing right now in a current situation. If it rains again, then even more so. But I mean, that's what it's about. I feel like they'll get there slowly and steadily.
And we've read that a few real rookies are getting a chance to drive the car come free practice.
Right. Yeah. So do you know who they are though?
Yes, I do have the names right here so that I do not mess them up. There is Ryo Hirakawa, who is driving for Alpine.
Right.
This is big for him because he's also a Japanese driver, so it is his home race.
Fair enough.
So he's going to be coming free practice for Alpine. And then there's Dino Beganovic. Don't quote me on that name. Like, on the pronunciation of that name. Who's going to be driving for Ferrari for free practice in Leclerc's car.
Wait. So, someone's driving Leclerc's car for a free practice as a rookie. But Zhou's not getting any free practice time?
Yeah.
He's basically just doing PR for the team at this point.
Yeah, like, China was like a full PR.
Yeah.
Did you see the magazine shoot of Zhou Ganyu? That man was like, just because I am a reserve driver doesn't mean I can't serve. He came with the looks.
Oh man, he killed it. He killed it for Ferrari in China. As like, oof, he did his ambassadorship very well.
Yeah, like China was not a good race for Ferrari. That weekend was not good. But the highlight was Zhou Ganyu's magazine shoot. That was some good stuff. But yeah, these 2 young drivers getting free practice is good news.
It's very good news, I would say, because there's another driver I'm hoping gets a chance.
Yes.
We're talking about the Kushmani fan club now. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, if you don't remember, we did say we're going to be Sky Sports for Kushmani.
Yeah.
In the sense we will only talk about Kushmani. No, but jokes apart.
I really hope he gets a chance.
Yes. That would be like that would make me want to watch a free
Mm-hmm.
practice, which
Mm-hmm.
is
Is
well.
yeah. It's usually overlooked quite a bit.
Yeah. So if Kushmani is driving the car, I would switch it on. I
Mm-hmm.
think you would too. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of Indians would.
Yeah.
And that would get them some good viewership. So maybe next up,
Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah.
I mean, I'm also hoping that it happens for another reason.
Mhm.
Is maybe he turns out to be better than one of the current rivals.
Oh, come on. See, the thing is, if Duhan is going,
Mhm.
it's called Pinto who's coming.
Yeah, but then on that case, they also have like more options.
Agreed, but
Like they're already testing one driver who's Japanese.
hmm,
Plus they have Colapinto. Plus they have Kush. So, okay, Kush is still racing
I
F2 as
love
well.
how Alpine's becoming the most global team on the grid right now.
I'm gonna take a hunch here. I think it's the Flavio effect.
Could be. We were like we as in my husband and we were looking at Instagram and the Flavio post came up and I just went down the comments. Almost every comment is an Argentinian flag.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he knows that the audience, I mean the crowd, everyone
Yeah, yeah.
wants Colin
Everyone
Pinto.
wants it.
Yeah. So let's see. I would just for now just hope that Manny gets a practice session.
Yeah.
And take it from there.
Yeah.
If he
Sometime
does
behind
well,
the wheel would be good.
yeah, if he does well, then that's great.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
And along with these youngsters,
Mm-hmm.
there are also some old names that have resurfaced in the past week. Did you see the interview?
I did. And he seems a bit confident in what he's saying.
We're talking about Sergio Perez, guys, and he has done an interview where he did say that he has got an offer from a few teams. Not one, not two,
But a few.
A few. So I don't know who these teams are.
Hmm.
My one guess is obviously Cadillac, who would want
Of
him
course,
there.
yeah.
Don't know who these other teams are, but
Okay. Even looking at it practically, I mean, he does come with a lot of endorsements. So it would make sense for any team to have him.
100%. And like the Sergio Perez hate train has really, taken a break because
it's not just taking a break. I think it's going back to its origin station at this point because of Liam. He's a blessing in disguise for so many people. He was a blessing in disguise for Yuki. He was a blessing in disguise for Checo.
Yeah.
He's a blessing in disguise for Ricky also because like Danny's been cleared. He's just like
everyone's now like, oh my god, Perez was a good driver. He could actually drive the second car.
Right? And I don't understand how it took them so long to realize this, considering, okay, Checo did have a certain period towards his end of the career where even he wasn't able to perform in that car, but he's still one of the people who managed to run it.
I will admit, guys, I was on the hate train for sure because I started watching last year, which is when I guess the Checo Perez downfall began. And I was just like, what the hell is happening? And I think a lot of the blame should go on the fact that we collectively have all been focused on the driver and not the fact that maybe the car sucks.
Correct.
And then Max Verstappen's just God.
I agree.
Who's being able to drive this car.
I wouldn't put it as much as God who's being able to drive this car as much as it's his weapon. It's made for him. It's tuned to him, which is why in a recent interview Yuki actually did say that he would love to build the car towards him.
Sure.
Right? No, it's not unheard of for a team to build two different builds on the same car.
Yeah. While I agree, I'm very conflicted because I'm very happy that Yuki's got this chance, but it already feels short-lived because of what you spoke about. The Honda Red Bull Association is ending next year.
Right.
Now, Yuki's pretty much the Honda driver, right? He has...
That's because he's Japanese, they tend to pull towards him.
And Honda gives a huge endorsement for Yuki to be in Red Bull, like 10 million plus.
11 million, yeah.
11 million plus a year. And so when next year Honda switches to Aston, Is there a place in Aston Martin for Yuki? Probably not. Is Red Bull going to continue keeping the Honda driver when they are shifting to Ford?
I don't think so, because there's been talk about this already, and it was very openly said that Yuki will be on his own next year at Red Bull.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like while Red Bull has promoted him, it was more of like, a panic move.
Definitely.
Because I feel like the one reason to take Liam instead of Yuki was that, to groom Liam.
Right.
Because he might stay on for longer.
Right, yeah.
And now they've just
panic
swapped. But then will they build a second car on Yuki's preferences when Yuki might not even stay for more than a season?
I mean, that's something. See, honestly, if you give Yuki the option, in my opinion, he'd take it any day of the week and stay, right? So now it totally depends on his performance in the coming races and how he's able to manage the car that they've built currently.
Yeah.
He seems confident. He said his sims have been good, but at the end of the day, a simulation's a simulation, and real life on track in the rain is going to be a whole different task for him to come out of. 100%. Looking good out, like genuinely looking good out of that task is going to be a tough one.
100%. And the rumor in the paddock is that Daniel Ricciardo is also sniffing around. Whether it's Red Bull sniffing around Daniel Ricciardo, Ricciardo sniffing around Red Bull, I don't know. But he was spotted in Australia, which, yes, people might say home race, but he was kind of there before the race. Like, it was like this weird time that he visited the paddock, which was like, why was he there? And now apparently he's going to be there for Japan. So is Red Bull making a second panic move where they are...
So again, this is something that I did read up on, and currently, from what I understand, Red Bull's stance is to keep Yuki in his spot till the end of the year. Because Yuki is not a rookie anymore, right? You have to give him that much time. Otherwise, you're essentially not just destroying a driver's name, but you're also destroying your own team at that point.
I agree, but then what is Daniel Ricciardo doing there?
He's chilling. He's just promoting his rosé wine wherever he goes.
I can't get over him and his... Maybe there's a Red Bull X Daniel Ricciardo rosé wine collab coming. Red Bull flavored rosé wine? I taste it if Daniel Ricciardo is selling it.
No.
No?
Just no. We're not doing this.
Okay, fine. But yeah, I have my fingers crossed for Yuki. And I have my fingers crossed for Liam Lawson too, man. I feel bad for him.
I honestly feel like there's nothing you can do, of course, yes. But even with Liam, has everyone realized how it suddenly went from, oh, he's so arrogant, oh, he's such a dick, to, oh, now we feel bad for Liam. Yes. Like, it's just circumstances at the end of the day.
I know everyone was so pissed with him giving the middle finger to Perez. Maybe because I was on that Perez hate train. But I was just like, man's feeling himself, okay? It's almost like, Max Verstappen went and hit Ocon once.
Yeah.
Like, well, that did make Max into some villain. He became a villain for other reasons, but not that.
No, that's one of the reasons. Let's not forget that, please.
I feel like because Ocon's also not like, no one gave too many flying shits about him hitting Ocon, Perez hit Sainz when he got out of the car. So what is such a big deal with him flipping a finger? It's not physically going and doing something to another driver, which others have done and gotten way less hate for.
Yeah.
So I feel like Lawson's been a little bit, he did start off with everyone already not really liking him. I'm kind of glad the narrative's changed.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad for him. I do. And I really hope he comes out and flips the middle finger to Red Bull in Japan.
He can't, considering, he's still driving for them.
Okay, metaphorically flips a finger to Red
All
Bull.
he's got to do is outperform Yuki.
Which could be,
it's
easier.
The ultimate middle finger is outperform Yuki. Yeah. And it's a battle between the place 15 and place 8. I'm sure of it. It's not anything higher than that, but yeah.
Yeah. And everyone's talking about how the B Cup is an easier car to drive.
Mhm.
Lawson has actually driven on this track before
Right, with the same car,
with the
with an older version of this team's car. Yeah,
AlphaTauri. Yeah. So this could be his race, and if it is his race, I'm glad.
hopefully.
Yeah.
I hope he does make a mark finally
Mm-hmm.
after two very very bad races for him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put on my chips in it.
And Yuki thinks he's getting a podium.
Yuki has suddenly been given so much air under his ass. He feels like he's 6'5",
which he's not. He's so tiny. But yeah, he's literally gone and said, I think I'm getting a podium.
Yeah.
But it would be huge if he gets a podium.
If he manages to clinch a podium, then it's a fuck you to the world.
Yeah, that's true. There have been, Japanese drivers on the
Right.
grid before. None that have been in such a strong car
Mhm.
as Yuki. There are two drivers who stood on the podium
Right,
before. The last one being in 2014. So more than a decade ago, which is a huge deal. And no Japanese driver has ever won in Japan.
Yeah.
So can Yuki win? Maybe not.
Podium again? Maybe.
Podium? Yeah.
Maybe.
Podium, maybe.
Maybe.
To
But-
tell you all the names, guys, the Japanese drivers, there was Aguri Suzuki in
Mhm.
1990 and Kamui Kobayashi in 2014.
Does this Suzuki have anything to do with the car maker?
Not sure. I don't know.
Okay.
We could find that out. If you all know, please leave that in the comments. And if we find out, we will leave that in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this track has seen other famous rivalries. McLaren rivalries.
You're talking about the back-to-back Prost and Senna crashes.
Yes. And if you watch the Senna series on Netflix, they show a lot of it, which, is how I was informed about this famous rivalry, to be very honest. And yeah, when I was reading about Japan, I realized a lot of their famous clashes happened in Japan.
Yeah, they did.
So that's great because we have a famous rivalry in McLaren probably brewing right now as well.
I don't think they'll go that far, of course.
No, I mean not yet, because they are not at the level of Senna and Prost, where they're fighting
for the championship. Yeah, those were both championship deciding races.
Yeah.
That, well, they manipulated as best as they could.
Yeah.
But these guys aren't there yet.
Yeah, but this is the first time in a long time where two McLaren drivers are so strong that one has won the first race and the second has won the second race.
That's true.
And the third, we will see. I don't know about your predictions, but in mine, they definitely feature. Because that's just how strong McLaren is right now.
I agree. They have a great car, great drivers. They're really pulling off the season well.
Yeah, and while the first two races we didn't really see any battle, I feel it's coming. I really do.
It's building up, isn't it? It's like this perfect build up until one of these races just goes a little too crazy.
Yeah.
So, do you know about this track in specific? I did a little bit of digging up, and it's got a couple of great features as far as an F1 track goes. So, firstly, it's one of the only tracks, not one of the, it is the only track where you literally have two F1 cars driving over each other. And this is while they're racing. So, you have you have a roundabout, and one of the roads elevates over the current track itself. So, it's a wild sight to watch when you're watching the race, even from home.
It's called a figure 8 track.
Right.
I saw in my reading, and that's pretty cool. I will definitely watch out for this moment, because I feel I totally overlooked it last season.
There is another one, in fact. So Japan has, I believe it's turn 15, if I'm not wrong. It's the fastest turn in F1 currently.
Ooh,
the turn is taken at close to 300 kilometers an hour.
Ouch. And I just feel like that neck must be like...
The G-force on one turn, just imagine it.
That's
it. It's nuts.
Yeah, genuinely when I started watching, I was like, why are their necks they all have like such short, stout necks.
Yeah.
And then I started watching their training videos, and I was like, makes sense.
Makes sense, doesn't
Makes
it?
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have like huge, like their muscles are like, you know, your thigh muscles.
Yeah,
It's
they're
crazy.
thick as hell and veiny,
Yeah.
because like they need to be, right? They need to be so strong. Have you seen? There are so many videos of Max's training. Have you seen him train his neck?
I have seen Lando's training, not Max's.
No, you should genuinely check out Max's neck training video. He's outperformed every driver on the track.
Wow.
Like,
and he actually has the least stout neck.
Yeah. He's just naturally strong, I'm guessing, because of his
Crazy.
build. He's also quite big, like compared to the other drivers, he's quite big.
Yeah, he's taller
Yeah,
than most.
yeah. I think the only one who matches him in height would be George.
Yeah, George is tall,
but
actually.
he's not like physically that built, you know. He's a little lankier compared to Max. That helps him a lot.
I will see Max's training videos.
You must.
I would love to. I don't think there's anything like that in India, but I would love to go and like train like an F1 driver.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
like do the challenges that they do. Would it break our necks? Probably. But it's a risk I'm willing to take.
I'm sure they have beginner levels and lower weights.
Should I just like put, you know, resistant band over your neck and
please don't. Please don't do all these accidents at home. Guys, please don't try this. Nobody try this.
Yeah. Maybe we should find out so we could do a video where we train like F1 drivers. That would be fun.
That would be so much fun.
For another break week.
For another chaotic week.
Yeah. That time I was breaking my head over Lego pieces. Now I'll break my neck. That's just how we roll during break week.
Damn.
Yeah. I think it's time for predictions.
Oh my god.
Are you ready?
Not really.
Yeah, acting like you're gonna have to drive the car and take it to the podium. Like our predictions. Oh my god. Should I go first? Then?
Yes, please.
Okay. So on first place, I have Lando Norris.
Okay then.
On second place, I have Charles Leclerc. And third place, I have Oscar Piastri. So I have put Leclerc in a McLaren sandwich. And that's mainly hopeful, wishful thinking. Okay? I think it is crazy that Ocon is the lead like Ferrari engine driver right now.
Yeah.
That is mind-numbingly bad. Okay, guys? This cannot be happening. Okay, Lewis has won a sprint. So let's get Leclerc that at least that second
race win.
Yeah, that race win feels a
little
difficult.
Let's get him a podium.
Let's get him a podium, okay? And I put Norris, like I thought Oscar Norris, which is why I was saying I think it's going to become a problem. I have no stats in this. It's just gut. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So for my predictions, for first place, I actually have Lewis. And for second place, I have Max. And for third place, I have Oscar. Now, okay, I'll explain why I've put Lewis.
You better explain.
Why I've put Lewis and Max on first and second. Firstly, Lewis, 8 wins in Japan. Max, 7 wins in Japan. Lewis also holds the world record for the fastest lap time there.
I hear all of this.
And purely based on these stats, I'm gonna go with, I think he's gonna do it. This is his week. He's gonna pull it off. I have this immense feeling within me that these two are it's gonna be a very old school Max versus Lewis match.
I was gonna put Max as well because he won last year in Suzuka, and like Max is Max and all of that jazz. But I do feel the McLarens are very strong right now.
Really?
Yeah, like did we not see the last 2 races?
Strong enough for both of them, plus strategy to work out so well that they both land up that way?
I think so. Like if you really think about it, that's what was going to happen in Australia till like the last minute skid from Oscar, which, come on, I don't think it's happening again.
You've got a like 300-kilometer-hour turn.
Let's see. I think Oscar's a great driver. I think he must have really been hard on himself after that. And I don't think it's happening again, especially because we saw how well he performed in the next race. Okay. So I feel like maybe one person's gonna
Mhm.
break it in with them. I'm hoping it's Charles, could
Right.
be Lewis, could be Max, who knows. But Lewis winning, Max second, that's gonna take some major fuck up from McLaren, in my opinion.
I think it's a long time coming now.
Let's see. We can only
Yeah.
see what happens. It would be great to see a Lewis Verstappen fight
Oh
for
my
sure.
God.
We got a glimpse of it in the sprint.
It was so much fun to watch that happen again.
Yeah, that would be great.
But actually, speaking of McLaren, I do have one little note. Did you see Zach's message, open message to the world?
What?
Yeah, so Zach Brown wrote an open letter to the fans and the world, basically, stating how he's like very grateful for everyone's support, and you know how they helped him clinch the world championship last year, and they're gonna try to do it again this year, but he's not promising anything.
What is?
I'm paraphrasing, of course. This wasn't literally what he said, but
what is with the timing of this letter? Like,
that's why. This is something sus is about to happen.
But see, I thought this whole wing change and all was gonna impact them last race.
Yeah.
And I predicted they're not gonna win, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go with the fact that McLaren has been
performing well.
Yeah, they've been doing something right, and I'm just gonna bet on that.
Fair enough.
Zach Brown's letter is fishy for sure.
Yep.
I don't know what he's on. Maybe he had a little drink and he got sentimental. I don't know, but
another fact, by the way, that I forgot to talk about. Yuki was apparently up for the Red Bull seat in 2023.
Oh.
And was blocked by guess who?
Max.
Nope.
Then
Adrian Newey.
Oh, wow. What did Newey have against
So,
Yuki?
in 22, there was a race where Yuki had a crash in his AlphaTauri. Okay. A piece of his car went ahead and got lodged into Max's car, ending up with a DNF for him.
Oh my God.
Ever since that day, Adrian Newey has had like a red cross on Yuki and did not even allow the idea of him entering Red Bull to be entertained until he left. Which is when the talks actually began. Oh, maybe Yuki can be pulled up from racing bulls.
That is interesting, and you know why it's even more interesting? Because Honda goes to Aston Martin
next year. Exactly.
When New is sitting with a little red cross for
exactly. It's gonna be bad for him, but he's really on his own next year.
Like, I know there's talk about Honda taking on a second team, but that might be Williams. And now Williams is not going to sack Sainz or little Albon.
No way. Albon's performing.
Unless Sainz moves to Audi, creating a space for Yuki.
From everything he said, he seems like he's going to stay with Williams for at least 2 years.
Let's see.
At least that's his plan. Now, if JV has different plans, we can't say anything. JV, guys, is James Vowles. He is the team principal for Williams Racing right now.
Yeah. Or SC, Senior Carlos, I was going to say. Yeah, Senior. Isn't his dad's name?
Carlos Senior.
Yeah, Carlos Senior. Because he also, I feel like, has a lot of, he wanted him to be in Audi, didn't he?
He has a very, very long-standing relation with Audi. He wins most of his cross-rally races with Audi itself.
Correct.
So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
So
father, like son,
Yeah, so he might, because DTS gave us the sense that his father wanted him to go to stake because of this.
Right.
So next year when it's Audi, maybe,
It is better at least not driving around in a piece of meat.
Yeah. We still don't know if that's true, guys. Don't hate on steak till it becomes a steak, That's all
that was so bad. Oh my God.
I am a podcaster, not a comedian, which is good in India.
Yeah, it's a really good time to be a podcaster that isn't doing comedy.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we hope you tune into the race.
Right.
And there is actually a new fun, interesting way you can tune into the race.
Fan code
and watch the race in Hindi.
Hindi, yeah. Fan code started to do races in Hindi and regional languages now.
Yeah.
It's quite something, dude. I wonder how it's going to end up sounding, honestly.
I have seen a few clips.
Yeah?
It's funny.
I mean,
Okay.
is it funny because like it's like funny, or is it just funny because we were used to hearing it in English all this
Okay,
while?
like okay, very honestly, for us, for me, Hindi commentary cricket is also funny. Okay, because just like some things just sound very funny in Hindi. Okay,
they're so passionate.
Yeah, and they'll always be like, they'll do muhavres.
Yeah,
and they'll like
agree,
dramatize things, which is just our way of talking, And funny doesn't always mean bad.
Right.
Funny means entertaining, no?
True.
So I am okay with it being funny. I watch English, like
Hindi
cricket in Hindi commentary because sometimes you want to listen more about the girlfriend than what's happening on the field. It's fun. It's okay. So yeah, I did see a few clips. We've not watched race in Hindi.
Right.
Maybe we should watch a race in Hindi.
But maybe you'll see some clips coming on Sunday from that.
Yes. But I think it's a good thing only. It'll increase the fan base of F1 maybe.
I think it's perfect, honestly, because it's such a great time for it to be happening right now, considering all the Indian talent that's there in the sport. And it's what we need currently. We need more viewers. We need more viewership in the sport.
Imagine Kushmani driving, Hindi commentary. We'll just put Lehra on the background. It's set. It's a movie waiting to happen.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
Guys, yeah, if y'all are going to watch the race.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, Kushmani's story would make a great movie. You start with his brother's story and then go ahead.
Yeah.
Wild.
I recently came across this reel of his brother when he's like crying on the radio. It's
heartbreaking.
It's such a sad
one. Heartbreaking, that was.
Yeah, that was really sad.
So, do you know why what like the whole situation that went down?
I went into the comments and I did see that his teammate's father kind of started paying off the team or something. Very sad.
It was essentially like they tried to boycott him while also not letting him go.
Oh my god.
So they were just running his career into the ground very
There's
evidently.
This clip of Arjun Mani.
Yeah.
He's like crying into the radio, being like, "Y'all just don't support me.
Yep.
There's no engine power in this car," and it's just so.
He was essentially behind them, from what I understand, for over half a season.
Oh my god.
But the car is not giving enough power. The car is not giving enough, and they kept telling him that no, your car's fine. Whereas his teammates' car is clearly performing better.
If Kushmani does get into F1, if he even wins one podium, I will write his movie.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to have an end, I guess getting into F1 could be the end.
Yeah, just driving an F1 car, which is something that his brother always wanted to do and couldn't.
Yeah.
Is the arc complete? We just wrote the film.
So that video, from podcaster to movie makers now. That video of him like crying into the radio was what, F3?
That was F2.
F2.
Kushmani still, Arjun Mani still drives though.
Yeah, but some
racing.
other format, right?
Yeah, another format now.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's it from us. We hope you watch the Japan Grand Prix. We hope you watch it in Hindi. Maybe if you do, let us know how it is. Maybe we'll watch it in Hindi.
We'll definitely watch at least a bit of it in Hindi to get like
just
more
the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But the problem is we watch it on F1 TV.
I have fan code. We'll do that.
Okay, fine. We'll do both. And yeah, the triple header is coming.
Oof, it's gonna be a long 3 weeks, boys.
Yes.
Be ready for it.
Yes. So tune in every week. We'll be here, same time, and
same place, same couch.
Same couch. Unless we're on the dining table making Lego again, which let's hope is not the case.
I don't think we're going to be doing that again.
No. Something else, but not that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, bye then.
See you.